It's alive. It's alive. Haha, all right. Look at that. Hey everybody, Jake here for Dude Ranch DIY. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about introducing a new piece of equipment to the whole firewood operation. Let me show you what we got going on. So, about 2 weeks ago, Chris and I found this here old 24-foot hay bale elevator on Facebook Marketplace, and Chris actually sent it to me, and I was like, huh, that actually looks pretty perfect. So we went up, took a look at it, struck up a deal with the gentleman who was selling it. He actually has about a 200-acre working farm here in Connecticut, which is pretty rare nowadays. But he hadn't used it in about 10 years, although he hooked it up to his tractor. It's hydraulically driven, and it fired right up. Worked forward, reverse. He said he had bought it from somebody that was intending on using it for firewood. They put this newer hydraulic motor on it and, you know, made up a guard for the belts and everything. They also fabricated up this whole hopper that goes on the lower end to accept firewood into it, which was like a huge selling point because that's kind of a lot of work to have to make one of those. And the fact that that one basically just mounts up to the bottom here through these holes, a pipe kind of goes through and it all mounts up. So yeah, we are super excited. Now, the fact that it is hydraulically driven by hooking up to a tractor kind of posed a little bit of an issue, but not too much. My Kubota L3901 does not have rear remotes, nor would I want to power this conveyor with the tractor, because that would then tie up the tractor if it was, you know, designated to running the conveyor. So Chris had a great idea, and let me show you what that was. His idea was that he has this old log splitter. This was a spare that he picked up. It was just a good deal that he got on it. Hasn't used it in a while, but everything works. It has a Tecumseh 10 horsepower engine on it, which is definitely overkill for this conveyor, but it also has its own hydraulic tank, a little pump and everything. So the plan is, or what at least we're going to be trying to do today, is we're hoping to use this motor, the pump, and hydraulic tank to power this conveyor. And the plan today is to leave everything on the log splitter, but simply hook up the motor and the pump and the tank and everything up to the conveyor by using these two lines. Now, I got some adapters on the bed of the truck, so I think it's going to be as simple as basically unscrewing the two lines that go into the cylinder here on the splitter and pairing them up to the two lines on the conveyor, and we'll see what kind of speed we get out of a 10 horsepower Tecumseh motor. And to be honest, we are not even really sure what this pump is. There is some writing on it, but I don't think any of it really indicates flow to any great degree. So that's the plan here, but just wanted to show you this. Tomorrow, Chris is going to be here, or later in this video for you guys, Chris is going to be here, and we are going to be working on this more in depth. But I wanted to show you guys, and basically the goal of today is to see what the conveyor does hooked up to this motor. We have some other parts already coming, but we'll get to that when we cross that bridge. So for now, I'm going to get the adapters, and we're going to try and hook this puppy up. Okay, I got these 1/2-inch NPT female pipe, like adapter things here. It's a double female, so I'm thinking that I should be able to hook up the lines both from the pump motor on the conveyor and the pump on the log splitter to each other using these, and we should be able to test out the flow. So let's see how that works. So I'm not sure which one is which as far as flow. I mean, this one on the log splitter side is marked A, but I'm not sure which one is which on the conveyor side of things. So I'm just going to screw these on here and we're going to test it out. Again, this is just a test. So that's connected. And that's connected. Okay, so now in theory, by connecting these two lines, the essentially cylinder on the splitter is totally bypassed. I should be able to start up this motor, and I'm thinking we should get some action here out of the conveyor. I'm not sure which way it would go. Again, it was originally plumbed into these hard lines going from the motor all the way down to these soft lines that would then connect to the back of the tractor, like the rear remotes. But since my tractor doesn't have that, we're bypassing that, and we want to kind of make this a self-contained firewood conveyor anyway. So only thing left to do is basically start this puppy up and see what happens. Okay, we had a bunch of fuel in the air filter here, so I'm guessing Chris didn't shut the fuel off when he towed it over here. And looks like that would be good for good reason, because there isn't a fuel shut off, so that makes sense. All right, got the pull cord back on. Let's try this again. There's definitely some buildup in the fuel bowl there from the ethanol. Again, right now, before I dedicate too much time to this, I'm just trying to see if I can get this thing to run, if this motor and pump and everything will get this conveyor to run properly. Because it is so much overkill. Typically, from what I've seen, these firewood conveyors really only need like maybe a 5 horsepower motor and like a 7 gallon per minute pump. Whereas right now, this is a 10 horsepower motor. I'm not sure how many gallon per minute pump that is, but I'm guessing it's got to be at least like 10. Well, it's running on its own, albeit kind of surging. I've been feeling the carburetor needs to be cleaned out. Right now the conveyor isn't running because the valve is in neutral, but I'm going to go ahead and push it and see what happens. So when I push the valve like that, you can see that thing's spinning. I forgot, Chris and I took the main chain off because we didn't want it to fall off when we were towing it home. So let me throw that back on quick. It works. Well, there we go, guys. Success in the wood yard. We are conveying nothing, but this setup does seem to work. Now this motor is at full throttle. If I lower the speed, it slows down. That's a win in my book. All right, guys, well, that is exciting. Obviously, we got the thing running. It works forward, neutral, reverse. This is just the beginning. Obviously, we got parts, like I said, ordered for it. Chris is going to be coming over tomorrow. Hopefully we can get that surging thing all taken care of. We'll go through the motor, clean it all out, new air filter, drain the gas, fuel line, inline fuel filter, the whole 9 yards. We're doing this right now that I know that it works. I guess that pump isn't overkill. It must be a smaller pump. I do have a variable control valve coming. Not sure if it's necessary though, because the motor was revved up all the way, and that was as fast as it was going, and it wasn't like it was crazy blistering fast. So I'm pretty happy with the results this afternoon. I just started up the International. I gotta go deliver 2 large totes of firewood to somebody here in town that reached out yesterday because they saw the firewood stand. Sarah just came down. She is with the dogs. Gus had a little incident the day we got back from the Paul Bunyan show. Gus, show him your scar. You little metalhead. He got I don't know, he ran into something, right?
Who knows? We think a stick went through him. He had a pretty deep hole.
Yeah, he had a big gash in the side. He needed like 9 stitches and like 5 staples, poor guy. But he's doing good. He's on the up and up. So we got to go deliver this firewood, and then what? It's Back 40 live stream and date night tonight, right?
Yeah, we're going to a winery.
We're going to a winery, and then we're going to be home in time for the Back 40 live stream. All right, well, we'll see. I can never win.